Hey, and welcome back to Yogi's Garage. We are back with Project Pepper. And guess what? Spring is here. It's time to put the top down, take this car for a cruise. But when spring comes, so does spring showers. And if you get caught in the rain with your top in poor condition, you're going to be rudely surprised by what you get after it dries. Yes, mold, mildew. And why is that? Because you need to seal the top. The sealant on these tops don't last forever. Here's an example, right? Take a look at this. This is this top right here, and I put a little bit of water, maybe an ounce of water on it, and notice what happens. There's no hydrophobic properties on this canvas top anymore. So where's the water gonna go? The water's gonna go into the canvas out the other side, right? And into the cabin. So if you're getting a mildew smell in your convertible, it could be a couple of things. You could have clogged drains, and I have a video on that. Be sure to click that link up there. And then it could also be, like what's happening here, is that your top is no longer repelling water and UV. So we gotta address that. But here at Yogi's Garage, yes, I know I love to buy tools, but guess what? I already have all the tools, and you probably have the tools as well to get this done. So in this video, we're gonna talk about what it takes to clean your top, what tools you're gonna need, and where you can get it. So with that, let's fix it. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna need is a detergent, right? And you can do this in the garage, by the way, because you're not gonna be using a whole lot of high pressure. So you need a detergent, and I have a couple of choices for you. You can go and get a chemical already readily made, and I'll show you that in a second, or you can just use regular old laundry detergent. You can get one of those little Tide Pods, put it in a 5-gallon bucket of water. First, obviously cut it up, mix it in there, and you have a mild detergent. I also have my own concoction that I use for steam cleaning my carpets, which I can also put the recipe down in the description below. Let me know what you guys think about that, and I can do that. And it's basically pennies on the dollar compared to what it would cost if you bought a readily made chemical, right? Okay, so once you get the detergent, then you need something to clean it with. You need a mild abrasive in order to get into those fabrics, in order to get into those fibers and extract that dirt, right? You want to get that dirt agitated and grime it up to the surface, right? So that's where these little drill brushes come in. And I have this in my affiliates link in the description below that'll take you to my Amazon storefront, and I have all of these available for your purchase. And Yogi's Garage gets a tiny little commission on every purchase that helps fund projects like this. And I have some big projects coming, so I need all the money I can get. All right, so once you have the detergent and you have your scrubbing tools and you've managed to raise that dirt to the surface, now you need to vacuum it off, right? So you can do a couple of things. If you just want to hose it off, that's fine. You can take it outside and hose it off. But here's the problem with that. You're not going to get all the soap out of that top without using a vacuum, because it's going to soak in quicker than you can scrub it out, quicker than you can rinse it off. But you can absolutely do that. However, I recommend doing this. Get yourself a spot cleaner. If you don't have one, I can put a link in my affiliates description, and you can buy one from me, or use a shop vac, right? Set your shop vac to wet and just pull the dirt up. Today, I'm going to use my spot cleaner to pull that dirt up, and wait till you see what it looks like. Now, keep in mind, this is what the top is supposed to look like if the repellent is still on the car. So now that you have the way to extract the dirt and the moisture out of there, now you need to put the finishing touch on there, and that's the sealant, right? So this is what I went with on the sealant. I went with the chemical, guys. And yes, I also am showing you the ready-made chemical here that you can use if you just need to get it done. This thing even says rinse-free. I don't buy any of that marketing jargon, because honestly, where does the dirt go if it's rinse-free? So anyway, we're not going to use that, right? We're going to use, like I told you, my homemade spot cleaning recipe, or like you can just use a Tide Pod, as I mentioned. So now that that's done, we're gonna use this protectant and we're gonna soak the whole top in this protectant. And we're gonna let it sit there. And we're gonna follow the instructions on the bottle to the letter. And then we'll take a look at the properties of this top after it's done. I'm pretty optimistic that this is gonna help solve my problem with some of the mildew smell. Now granted, my car doesn't always sit outside, but there have been cases where I've had to stick it outside and a quick little shower showed up and boom, the top is soaked. And I have to leave the top up and dry so that it'll air out. And I don't wanna do that anymore, all right? Let's get started. All right, I've got my laundry detergent ready to go. I used my spot cleaning recipe, and I've got my the largest diameter that I can find because it's a big top, right? So I'm gonna get this thing wet and start scrubbing this top on my phone and get this thing clean. It's just a little bit of soapiness, and it is essentially soaked. So now I'm gonna use my vacuum to extract the dirt. So I want to keep this comparison fair because obviously the vacuuming is going to remove the lint and the cat fur that was on this top before I started. So let's go ahead and just show you the difference. And look, there's already stuff on the canvas. Look at that, I didn't even notice that, stains. It's like if that repellent was working the way it should, none of this should be here. I don't know if this is turning out in the camera. Some of it's moisture. The rest of it is just clean black canvas, right? And you can do this as many times as you need. And I have a little secret weapon here. This little Bissell here also has the ability to put the detergent inside, and then I can just squirt it out of that. But I wanted to show you the simple method of using household tools to do the same job. So I was gonna show you how dirty that water was, but then I proceeded to spill it on the floor. But yeah, there you can see that it's clearly dirty. But I really wanted to give you that beauty, ugly beauty pass where you pour water in the sink, but oh well. So this is what I managed to collect as far as dirty water is concerned from the top. Yeah. How much you want to bet that this top hadn't been cleaned in the 23 years of existence? Probably never. But if you look at that, you can see I picked up all kinds of crud in there. Hair from the cat fur and some dirt grime. All right, I wanted to demonstrate the versatility of this Adams air cannon that I purchased on Black Friday last Christmas. This thing is amazing. I love this thing. I've been using it to dry my cars,
but it also has a heater function, and it's really not a heater function, just the motor heats up to a point where the air coming out of it is pretty hot. So it's great for this type of task. And if you guys are interested, take a look at my Amazon affiliate page. It's got all this kinds of stuff, and it helps the channel. Yogi Mama thanks you.
All right, so I am done with the drying of the top, and now I want to get the rest of that lint off, and I've done most of the work already with a combination of tools, your good old-fashioned lint roller, and then this really stiff bristle brush. And if you haven't seen these before, I'll put, check out my Amazon link, and I'll put what I'm using here. This thing is awesome for getting hair out of short fibers like canvas tops. So basically what it'll do is it gets in there and just takes that crap off. And it's really good on floor mats, center consoles, if there's carpeting, just to get all that crap off. And if it doesn't pick it up, at least what it'll do is it'll lift it up off the canvas, and then you use this to roll it up, right? Just pick it up. And there. So now this thing is dry, it's time to seal it. The letter says, always test, clean fabric top, blah, blah, blah. And then it wants you to cover exposed rubber and plastic trim with protective tape. Yeah, so I'm guessing it probably has something to do with its sealing characteristics that's gonna interfere with the rubber. So I got a few here that I should probably put some sealant down, and then of course, probably from here all the way around, just, you know, to be safe, because you don't want to ruin the rubber seals. And poof, trim is done. I've done as much trim as I want to do. This is pretty good. I got it around the window. I'm not too worried about this little strip here. Probably use a towel just to protect that right there by hand, because it's only a little spray bottle. And I went ahead and followed the instructions and had me spray this area right here. Just, I don't have an inconspicuous spot, so this is pretty inconspicuous, just to make sure it doesn't do any staining. And so far, so good. So I'm gonna let that set up. So each coat's gonna take 20 minutes. So I'll put you on time lapse. I'll do the first coat, we'll do the second coat, and then we'll take a look at the finished product. Okay, second layer is applied, and I was pretty generous with it. I think you should expect to have to use about half of the bottle for one convertible top. Now that's a convertible top the size of a 996 Carrera or Turbo, not the size of a convertible top for, I don't know, a Jeep or whatever. So your mileage may vary. So I went ahead and pulled the car outside so I could go ahead and show you the results after the 2 sprays or 2 layers of the sealant have been applied, and it's still a little wet. And I'm gonna wait a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna come back with a water test, a small one, and check to see how it looks, and to make sure that the water is indeed repelling. But for right now, the sun isn't really helping me all that much. As you can see, it's kind of overcast, but I'm getting some breaks in the sun. But I wanted to show you this and how well it turned out, because this thing, here's another shot of the before, and you can see not only was it hairy, I mean, that's gonna happen, but also it had a lot of dirt in it. And what I determined that came out of the vacuum was not only dirt, but probably some of the coloring, because if you let your canvas dye oxidize, that's what's gonna happen, is if the sealant comes off, then the sun is gonna attack the color, it's gonna attack the fabric. So I lost a little bit of the coloring, and I bet you if I got some RIT dye and laid it down and then sealed it again, or maybe strip it and then lay it down and then seal it again, I can get it nice and dark. But I think it looks 10 times better. And I know I'm looking at you guys who are looking at me about this right here, right? And this on this side. Yeah, I haven't tackled it Yogi's Garage way to really see if I can fix it. But the research that I've done on this is that there is a sewn in tensioner strap that goes laterally across the back, across the top. And it's meant to cinch it as it's going up and going down. And since the top was never sealed, the springs and the metal clasps all over this inside rusted out. Let me know down in the description, let me know down below if anyone else has had trouble with corrosion on this. I know of one other person that's on Renlist that has mentioned this, but I'm curious to see what you guys are doing to fix it. But yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? Because I can come in here and I can tuck it in all day long. But the moment that I put the top down and then back up, there's nothing grabbing it and pulling it tight to keep these beads from popping out. Just add a little bit because this video is running a little short. I think it's only like 15 minutes. All right, the sun was out for like a millisecond, but that's all I needed. And I also got my air cannon out again in full blast, and my watch was telling me that it's too loud. So be sure to wear earplugs because my ears are ringing a little bit. I had it full blast, and I'm getting all real close to it to see if I can blow off all the little lint as well. I managed to get most of it off, and I used my lint roller too, but damn, this looks great. And the further I move away from it, the better it looks. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know, you tell me. But the point is it looks fantastic. Now that it's dry, I gotta do the water test, right? All right, I'll get some water. Maybe a beer. No, water. Okay, here we go. Hey, that's better. Is it perfect? I think not. It was better. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, I mean, it's better, but it's not perfect. So, yeah, I'm gonna take that as a win, man, because I didn't do this for nothing. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, so not the greatest results that I was hoping for, but it's certainly better than what it was. And I think maybe if I empty the bottle on there, I can probably get the results that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna check this off as a win because it is repelling water. I'm gonna come back in a different video. I'm gonna double up on that, and we're gonna see if I can get it even better. All right? Thanks for watching Yogi's Garage. We'll see you next time. Oh, by the way, yes, I'm pulling the engine on the 996 turbo, so stay tuned.